Hey up everyone and welcome back to Stirling Albion, where things, now that Celtic and Rangers have played through their games in hand, I think European fixtures made it so they had so many games in hand to get caught up on. Now that they've caught up on them, it's starting to look a little bit normal again. Hearts actually went unbeaten for a very long time, but they're now third, St Mirren actually fourth, they came up with us of course, and Stirling, us, are fifth, which is where we want to be. Of course, it's where we want to be. I think there is a European place if either, one of these lot win the cup as well. I think there's a spot for fifth there. But if you pop it on season preview, this changes so quickly. We are now sixth, 25-1. We have been as high as 7-1 over the course of this year. It changes so quickly. Also, I appear to have missed the appointment of Vincent Kompany to Hibernian. Right then, we play them later. Also, you can see the two key players for our side right here, and that is Duda and Gonçalo Cardoso. Slightly irritating that Rogério Francisco has appeared as one of Rangers' key players, because I looked at him, I didn't think he was as good as Duda. In terms of improvement upon that position, I should clarify, because Josh Bowler does exist there. And you can see that, half a star, according to our star rating. Half a star improvement that would have been. Then again, so was Duda according to our scouts, and that was clearly a lie. They've got faces now, by the way. It's not the one I would have given Duda, but I'll leave it. Yeah, 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 appearances. Also, just the one player I need to get you caught up on, that is Rui Perez, on loan from Brighton, of all teams. I have tanked his determination from 20 to 19, apparently. However, yeah, he's good. I essentially realised that all of our midfielders were 3-star. I could maybe do with loaning one, and when someone came in on deadline day for one of our not playing players, I figured might as well go for a loan. And this guy is available. He's very good. There's a lot of 14s. There's a 19 determination now. Sorry, Brighton. Again, physically, weirdly, unspectacular for his age. But sensational first touch, sensational jumping reach, balance. Key points there, really, aren't they? But yeah, it's this passing, technique, vision, work rate, composure, anticipation, that kind of stuff when it comes to being a deep line playmaker, where Callum Lascelles is, and also where Callum is injured. Although he's nearly back. He's nearly back. 1 to 2 days. I suppose I better show this to make you understand why I'm excited by him being back. 3 months. 3 months, someone else injured him in training. When I find out who that is, they're not getting a new contract. We've also got to play this game without Harry Sutar and without Gonçalo Cardoso, who is also injured. I should say our recent form hasn't been great, but that's mostly because we played Celtic and Rangers the last 2 games. 2-0 losses. Kind of respectable. We held on to the 85th minute against Rangers with a weakened side. There was a situation, I cannot remember which game it was, but there was actually one game this year where we had our entire first choice backline suspended or injured. That was a fun one. Also, this happened the morning after the Liverpool game. I posted it on Twitter. I realised there may have been spoilers because I technically posted it before Monday's episode went live. But yeah, 7-2. Not as fantastical as it may have first seemed. Thank you, Aston Villa, for somewhat taking the fun out of that result. Now, Ted Smith is listed as injured. What is his injury? Flu. Oh, don't spread it, Ted. Don't spread it. If there's one piece of advice I should be giving during the current climate, is don't play a football match when you've got an illness. Jack Ruddy in goal, Ziggy Gordon on the right-hand side of the fence, who's 1 yellow card away from another suspension because fullbacks. Dominguez, Graham, Layers, who is also 1 yellow card away from suspension because fullbacks. Dominic Gape, Rui Perez, Josh Bowler, who hasn't been playing particularly well and will be out of contract at the end of the year. Keenan Jones, Victor Fernandez on the left, same situation. Duda up front, who has been ridiculous. Also, I have given faces to those players who didn't have them before. It appears Keenan Jones turns out to be a distant relative of Adam Driver. Who knew? Anyway, we'll submit that team. Dropping Robinson for this one because he's not been sensational of late. Gape will start. I did drop Fernandez last match from his starting role, but I mean, part of me is just like, I can't really drop the players who do have the quality, because if they do play well, then fantastic. Apparently we need to raise our game to their level, which is 6th. Therefore, not the best of late either. Not the worst either, 6th slap bang in the middle pretty much. There is an early highlight. 1 minute in. And we're seeing some form of something. Good commentary there. Good commentary. Layers gets that ball though. Jones, in our purple kit, goes through everyone and scores. He's been given a new contract. The agent came to me. I was tempted to say sack him, but then at the same time, I did realise Keenan Jones was on £300 a week or something stupid like that. So I figured it may be sensible to tie him down, especially considering he's in the running for Welsh Player of the Year. That's right, Welsh Player of the Year. He's definitely in the running for Young Player of the Year for Wales, that was for certain, but he was in the news piece for potential Welsh Player of the Year. Dembele will whip this one in. No. I don't know which Dembele this is, by the way. I think it was the secret fourth one. I vaguely remember commenting on before. That's he's in from Victor Fernandez. I'm not really certain how much of that is down to Victor Fernandez and how much is down to their goalkeeper. Fernandez heads it, and well, it was on target. Immediate highlight after the goal. Bachmann. At this point in time, I'm just going to say Arbroath did very well not to get relegated last year. This year, it will be very good if they don't again. That cannons off. No, side netting apparently is what the text said, but I'm fairly certain it hit the bar. Oh, I should also just mention the Dundee match where we lost at home. Yeah, that was an FMing. Absolute FMing. I'm pretty certain there was another game we lost at one point during the interim where we lost by 1 goal but had 2 woodwork, 3 clear cuts, and 1 goal. Can't remember which match it is right now off the top of my head. But yeah, we have been FM'd on a couple of occasions. But, that's the game. That's the game we choose to play. I mean, Duda gets his 11th goal. Oh, that reminds me. I need to show you the best goal in history. I'll do that after this. You'll see why this has reminded me of that situation as Bowler does the winger thing of just running into the post, but somehow it makes its way into the middle of the box where Duda can tackle it through 3 of their players. But it's 3-0 now, and considering I think Hearts are the best of the rest, prediction-wise, I can't remember the order of teams now, you got to wonder just how much better Rangers and Celtic are for them to beat us 2-0. Oh, Josh Bowler has a bruised ankle. Oh, bless him. Bless him with his bruise. The way he's playing of late, I have 0 sympathy. 6.6. That, I thought that had gone in again. It's still in play, whatever's going on here. It's not now. Well, it still is, but Perez is, fouled. There was a coming together between Perez and however you have DA. I can't remember the lettering now. It wasn't so much a coming together as a tactical foul. Layers did get booked for it, though, surprisingly. Entire back line got booked against Rangers, along with a couple other players, and the player I brought on for one of the booked defenders. That ref was certainly on something. Didn't book a single one of the Rangers players. Can't help but feel he had a few players to be booked bets on, and they were all on our side. Must have been a Rangers fan. Something suspicious about that situation. The ball finally makes its way to someone on our side here. Bloody hell. Sorry about that. Gordon, Jones, Bowler, 4-0. He's offside. Of course he is, because he can't do anything right. Yeah, this is the Josh Bowler I remember. Apologies to the real Josh Bowler, who is probably nowhere near as incompetent. Last year? Where's last year's Josh Bowler gone? Where's he gone? That's what I want to know. The sensational form he had last year. That's nearly 4. I mean, they're persisting with an injured defender. Dembele? Nope. Oh, God, I switched off there. Bowler scored. That's it. That's what you got to do to get him to score. Berate him. Fernandez, the provider. Bowler, the scorer. The 2 underperformers combining for that. I'd switched off. I was already thinking about half-time. Well, that's 4-0. I mean, there's an old firm going on in the background. Just keep that going, team. Might have to take Bowler off, though, because his bruise is affecting him. We do need to close the gap on St Mirren. I never realised how dramatic that gap was until I started recording. I kind of switched off the table whilst Celtic and Rangers were doing their catch-up games because I did want to look at it. We were second at one point. That was a fun time when they had 4 games in hand still and we could pretend we were doing really well. But no, now they played them, everything's back to normal. And we're 5th, because we were the ones they had to play. Art's enjoying some possession towards our box for a change, although Dominguez has tackled him. That's what you get experience for. Perez will find Fernandez. Perez also a nice little return to Portugal, in a sense. I mean, via Brighton, in fairness, but nice to have a Portuguese player back in the side. Duda's offside this time. Learn the rules, guys. Oh yeah, that was it. It wasn't just 2 woodwork, 3 clear-cut chances to 1 clear-cut chance for them, or it might even be just 1 shot on target for them and 2 goals. Yeah, we had 2 disallowed goals in that game we lost by 2-1 that I mentioned earlier. I have been royally FM'd on occasion. Yeah, I mean, everyone else is fine. Just Bowler. Bowler's tired, Malay on, nothing, no reason to do anyone else because everyone else is really quite fit. Can't really explain it. Tiggy Gordon's out for the next one because fullbacks. Like I say, doesn't matter who the fullbacks are. Xiaonan, happened with Xiaonan, happened with Clark before him, happened with the person we had at right back last year, Lewis. Did momentarily forget your name, he's still in the team. That's unfortunate. It's happening with Ziggy Gordon this year. Like, there's no way all of them carry the same trait that makes them get booked. There's no way they all share the same situation as people. Sent Mirren one. 88th minute. That's them. You injured me. You bruised my player. Why does this always come up when you receive some kind of injury yourself? Josh Bowler's literally registered as injured now post-match. Why does this always come up when they injure one of your players, but somehow one of their players gets injured as well? I would just like to point out, in match versus Stirling, cause tackling. He injured himself tackling our players. We didn't injure him. He injured himself tackling us. FM21. FM21. Get rid of this bollocks. And I've used a word there that I don't normally use on YouTube. But this one annoys me more than anything else because it only ever comes up after one of your players has been injured in a game where one of their players has also been injured, no matter how they were injured. Meanwhile, injured getting tackled, Josh Bowler. I'm not doing the press conference because I know the question's going to be there and it's going to anger me even more. FM21, delete that nonsense. Don't even fix it, just get rid of it. Anyway, Ross County, Scottish Cup 5th round, you won't see it. Thanks, assistant manager. I forgot I shouldn't do that after big wins. I think weirdly, actually, he'll be banned for the Scottish Cup match rather than the next league match, which is nice. Because the next league match, of course, is Hibernian. That was the plan. It is, of course, transfer month, January transfer window. I know how words work. Arbroath won Alstrom on loan. That's tough. No, I don't want to send him on loan because I want him to become homegrown because I think he can become homegrown. And I do play him on occasion, so it's not like he doesn't play at all. And it was actually Arbroath the goal I need to show you as well, funnily enough. You can see why they need help. 0 shots on target, 3 shots in total. This has been what most of the matches have been like. I'll be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from some of the higher up sides in the Premiership. It's only really Celtic and Rangers that have given us the challenge for the most part. Every other time we've lost, it's been pretty much FMing. However, the first Duda goal is, well, not the great advertisement for Scottish football. Millen here. What are you doing, Millen? Composure 14 is what makes that hilarious. Now you can see why that goal in the Hearts game reminded me. I should say, whilst the transfer window is of course open, I have no business I want to do, nor any spots I can do that in. Wolves got relegated again. How? And more importantly, how are they keeping their side? Also, Marcelino is their manager. In the Championship. The weirdest part is he presided over the relegation. Marcelino, who tends to go to Champions League teams in a Football Manager, has somehow taken over Wolverhampton, seen them get relegated, and retained managership in the Championship. Like, I understand Norwich yo-yoing in the game. Wolves? Meanwhile, good news for Bristol City fans. Currently doing their best to stay out of the relegation spot, 16 games in with 14 points. It's a very low-scoring bottom section. Welcome back, Callum. Now, see, this is interesting that keeps happening. He has no interest in enjoying them when they made permanent offers in the summer. Now he's failed to do end-of-contract stuff with them as well. It implies he wants to do a new contract here, but he wanted £30,000 a week when I asked him for one, which is obviously I'm not going to do. And the weirdest part of this is he's rejected those contracts after rejecting the contract I offered him. So what does he want to do? Tchaikovsky will be going at the end of the year, sadly. Whilst he kind of got over not really playing here, he has agreed to leave at the end of the year. I don't think what Celtic are about to do to Arbroath here. 3-1. Weirdly, less damaging than what we did. As Rangers get held up, but I'll be honest, I don't think either Celtic or Rangers are catchable. Of course, we've got to play them twice again. I've not really mentioned this, but I have been offered quite a few English jobs. This is the highest one so far, I think. Aston Villa, who have just sacked Dean Smith in the Premiership. But that would kind of end the challenge, though, if I did leave. Yeah, I've been offered Watford. Been offered Cardiff twice. You know what? You can take Larkin. 10% of his wages. What's he on? 1.5. Can't you afford more? Doesn't really matter, let's be honest. We've got enough people who can step into the striker role. We can let the backup striker go. Casual reminder, Jack Larkin is a backup striker. I bet you'd forgotten. Because I had. I don't know what Sutar's doing, by the way. I presume it's the same thing that kept Shao Nan out of contention in the January period on occasions. This is the full transfer window, by the way, in case you're interested. There have been things going on elsewhere. I can't help but feel this is another one of those players who's been put into the game by Mozza. But he's gone to Liverpool, so well done you. Ironically, Man United did sign Luka Jovic in this save. I know that was a rumoured real-life one, but it did happen here, and he's now gone to Chelsea, though, so clearly didn't pan out all that well, if they're willing to let him go for, admittedly, £106 million. Of course, Larkin's the third choice actual striker anyway, because they have Duda and Glatzel this year. So yeah, Gordon is actually suspended for the League Cup the Scottish Cup match rather than the League match, which is interesting. I'm actually going to have to put a goalkeeper on the bench here, I think. And then the right back at right back. Carousel makes the bench, returning to fitness. Everyone's fine. I'll play the same first 11 as I did last time, except with Lewis at right back and Ted Smith back in goal from his flu. I'll see you at the end of the match for the score. I'll be honest here, this has just become a game of, do I say something or do I just let it run? It's 7-3 in the 67th minute. It was 2-0 at half-time. I stopped paying attention for a little bit. I thought, this is going well, everything's fine, we're all dandy here. And I sort of looked back and it was 5-1. And since then, there's been 4 more goals. So I'm now 50% regretting not showing in this game and 50% glad because we'd be here all day if we had. I just need to pause this here. 1 second. 1 clear-cut chance apiece. 6 half chances, I'll grant you that. But and I do want to direct your eyes to this period of time here. 2-0 at half-time. 2-0. This madness has happened in the second half. Note to self, don't tune out of a game, because you will miss 4 goals. Seems to have calmed down now, though. Although one final highlight, I will talk you through it as well. Jones, Players, finds Bowler, who's scored, I feel like, 12 goals in this game, who makes it 8-3. Anything in the Premier League can do, the Scottish League can do better. Although this is a cup game. Yeah, I think he's scored 4, Bowler. Jokes aside, I think he's scored 4. 5, he scored 5. I didn't make any changes. He's back. All he had to do was berate him on camera. I mean, I'm not pleased with the 3 conceded, but sure, that's got to be a record, surely. I'm going to mind you, there might be big teams facing lower league teams that may have scored more. I am ideally looking for a good run in the Cup this year. I would like a good run in the Cup this year. Why did I say that out loud before the draw happened? Oh, Celtic got Rangers. Massive. We got Hibs. Shouldn't open my stupid mouth. Ironically, after just beating Ross County, the Stirling versus Hibernian match has moved the Ross County match, and we now play Hibs. So, odd coincidence there, as Cardoso returns to full training 3 days before the Hibs game, so he might just make it. Although they've not done too well this year, 7th. They're the ones predicted 3rd, actually, as we've moved back to 7-1. You can see how this varies. I've moved 7 days in game, I think, at most. It is all over the place, and I don't understand it. The only thing that is consistent is the fact that the entire first 11, Media Dream 11, is Rangers and Celtic. I'm not going to lie, I was tempted by that one as well. He was very good for me at Burnley. He was one of those players on last year's game, at the very least, with Burnley, who performed above his star rating every time. If you watch my York save, and if you remember my acquisition of Jack Harrison in that, who's doing very well for Leeds in real life right now as well. But if you remember the Jack Harrison situation, where he did ridiculously well for the rating he was at, that was Jack Clark for Burnley. Just Jack's that does it, really, I think. You know what? This is the first time, possibly, where I might be genuine in this response. It's great to hear somebody thinks you're doing a good job, and it's even better when it's coming from someone I admire like Vincent. I mean, say what you like about Manchester City. Vincent Kompany as a person and as a player. Yeah. And whilst realistically Chelsea were the first of the bunch that kind of pushed this money-orientated football that we live in these days, it was Man City that kind of took the headlines for it. And weirdly, I kind of like Chelsea again now. Like, I've shed my hatred of Chelsea for the money thing and just kept it on City. I'm such a hypocrite, I now realise. But I think it's because now everyone's playing catch-up to them. And Liverpool, in fairness, who've done very, very well. But I'm glad Ziggy Gordon's back because Aaron Lucis is inexplicably very, very tired. That's better, though. All green on the last 5 games. That's what you like to see. Cardoso can do 75 minutes, apparently. So he will. Ted Smith, Leyes, Cardoso, Dominguez. I've just realised Ted Smith has his full name in game for some reason. Gordon at right back, Perez, Gape, Fernandez, Jones, Bowler and Duda. Why is that a thing? I forgot to do a team talk. This should be interesting. Birmingham acquired Illich, who you may remember from our York. Did we have him at York at one point? I can't remember. But Man City's Luka Illich. So that's a name you may recognise. I'm pretty certain it was the York save. We had him. Fernandez, not for very long because I feel like he didn't live up to expectations. Leyes, Fernandez. But I gotta say, this Stirling team, there's a few players. I feel like it will take a lot to really sort of displace the York players as my favourite players from FM20, for instance, or even Sebastiano Esposito from the Southampton save on stream, who I adore now. But there's a few players making their way possibly just into the bottom end of a top 10 for FM20. Duda. But I don't think I've forgotten about doing the York first 11s and all that jazz. It's just I haven't had time. I had to take a week away and visit home unexpectedly, which kind of pushed everything back a bit. Essentially, it lost me the week where I was going to be doing the 25 years in the future and the York first 11 stuff, and it cut that gap out between doing the York stuff and the Stirling stuff. So I will get back to that at some point, hopefully. At the very least, I'll do my favourite players of FM20 at the end of it instead of the York first 11 if I don't get around to doing it. But there's a few players making a case, mostly Keenan Jones, if I'm honest. Duda, if we can keep Duda for more than 1 year and he keeps doing what he's doing now, I think he might make it. But Keenan Jones is making a case. Obviously, Callum has very much cemented that spot, thankfully. There was the chance it could go horribly, horribly wrong. But no, he's maintained his spot. I won't lie. Number 1 will be very, very predictable when it comes to doing favourite players of FM20. That's a good goal from Jaden Braff. That's a very good goal. Southampton, mate, I see red and white stripes. I say Southampton on instinct, but I don't think it is because I think they have the black shoulders. It depends when the pictures were taken, what the kit was like. But that is a very good goal from Braff. And it's 1-1. At home, I want to be winning this considering where we are. It's the PSV kit. I had a sneaky suspicion, I didn't say it out loud. I had a sneaky suspicion it might have been PSV, but he's actually at Man City. At the start of the game, I still have my images from a previous FM. Probably will get an updated pack for next year's game. There's far too many faceless people already. As Duda heads over. I think we lost away from home, judging by the fact where I've been given the revenge message. It is quite interesting using players like Keenan Jones and Duda because I didn't really get to use that many new gens at the beginning of the York save. I think Shao now is pretty much the limit of them because he was an international new gen, and that is shambolic defending. That didn't go down as a clear-cut chance. I don't know what does. Canberra, though, just passes it to Braff, and Braff just walks past. I don't think that's Cardoso because he's on the other side. Yeah, that was Dominguez. Can't even fault that as not being match fit. Right, lob this one in. Throw in. Keenan Jones is in space. Oh, Keenan. The fact he's missed that the way it has me worried because that's the kind of chance he buries. And this is the kind of performance I've been used to seeing, actually, this year. Bowler very tired. Marley off. Leyes left back. Tchaikovsky on the bench because I'm an idiot. Fernandez on the left on a 6.5 as well. Alstrom comes on. And it might... I'll give it a few more minutes. And if there's no highlights, there isn't. Rui Perez is getting a smidge tired. Welcome back, Callum. Solve this for me, please. There's a highlight. If Callum Nassel actually gets us the equaliser here. If Callum actually gets the equaliser. Leyes, still on the ball, somehow. Callum finds Duda, he's offside. But it was there, the instinct was there, and this is... Yeah, I've been FM'd again. I am fed up of this. Tell the boys they did well. No. We lost the game, you cretin. Oh, I should just say, they actually did put in a bid in for Leyes in the end, the day after deadline day. I don't know why, but our deadline day in Scotland was a day before everyone else's. So I did my deadline day. I was like, right, I've got my squad. Day later, PSG make a £4 million bid, I think it was, for Leyes, which is quite a lot for the side we are. So I had to reject it. Because I couldn't replace him. I would have one left back all year until January. I was going to say it in game, but then forgot. I'm actually going to bring you the last 2 games of the year. Last 2 games before the split. Because the challenge deadline has changed from the 10th to just basically being just before FM21 releases. There's no need to really rush to the end of this anymore. Like I probably will still finish the challenge personally before the 10th. But I am actually going to do 2 episodes more well, one episode more this season. I'm going to bring you the last 2 games before the split, and I'll bring you the most important games after the split as well. So you'll be getting an extra episode in this season. And of course, after the challenge part of this has ended, it's going to be a little bit more spread out anyway. So I'll see you for St Mirren and Dundee United, both away from home. Lovely. I'll see you for those. Ta-ra.